Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and it is a beautiful sunny Sunday. Today we are saying goodbye to Carl, but not for a long amount of time. He's actually going away to another farm as a breeding stock. So somebody has some females that they want Carl to take out on a date, and they're here to pick them up. So we'll go say goodbye to Carl, I think for probably a month or two anyway. That's all. He doesn't need very long, but it's good to make sure that he does his job. So let's go have a look.
This is a very common coloring that he'll throw off.
That'll work with Jane.
Yeah.
Jane's similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, he's always had amazing, beautiful. He'll do lots of vocal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. My girls will be happy. They're like, get him out of here.
Thank you.
So he is really friendly, but as soon as you touch his horns, them's fighting words, we're gonna play.
But you just touched them.
I did,
Yeah.
Well, I meant to.
He's preoccupied
right now. So, so he's considered a long-haired pygmy.
Yeah.
He's pigeon. Okay, it was wet. Okay, we'll rub that on you. Yeah, that's Carl.
Okay.
So I might give you my, because I think yours is about this tall,
Well,
eh?
ours is
It's a little taller than
probably
that.
about like here.
Okay, well,
He might.
he'll lie down, which he's
Yeah, I think he'd be all right.
Okay.
Like our dog is actually bigger than.
He's got a 2-hour ride.
yeah.
So you
You got
tell
a
us.
blanket to put over top, though.
Yes, we do.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were leaving and it's like, oh man, we need this is too
Yeah.
cold for him.
Yeah. This weather. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we'll let Carl in the barn and then we'll walk him out there. Okay. Okay, hear that. Okay. Look, Carl. Go in the barn.
Look, Carl. He's like, I don't want to go in there.
I got him. This is why we don't do that.
No, we're not going in there.
Come on, girl. Look, you're in the barn. You're good. You're in the barn.
So we can just back them up to, we don't have a collar, but we can just back them up to and feel them up.
doing some slang.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's why that's one of the reasons why horns are good. Some people debud them, which can be a problem.
I didn't know that. I mean, it's like a play fight.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Grab a horn. Grab a hand.
He says there's no girls in here. Should have probably just taken some oats. That probably would have helped out.
Right now, Carl. We're gonna tie this. Yeah, Carl.
All packed up.
He's like, yeah, Carl.
Hey.
Sorry, buddy.
Good thing we have that strapper on the outside now.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep the whole cage
Yep.
intact.
Hold the thing
The
together.
whole
Well, he
He
doesn't.
might be in the back of our truck.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot of room to
right.
whack it.
Sounds good.
So.
Okay.
And then.
And I'll head it back as soon as he comes back.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome.
Do you have paperwork for us to sign
No,
or
I
something
never
like
do.
that?
Okay.
Long as
Well, you know what?
Well, we have your clothes.
him, so.
I have your money. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
he's already given off the scent like crazy.
Right. So it should be
usually
about
people
3 or 4 days,
5
right?
days.
Yeah.
They'll go into making the scent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we'll just keep in touch with how long we feel like he needs to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll give it an extra week just in case, and then you're good to go. Usually, yeah, but it's like a day or two by the time he gets in there. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, that is what we're doing.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Okay, thank you.
Hang on, Brad.
Here,
Just want to
Carl.
tighten
I know, you're my little bugger.
You're gonna like these girls. They're new.
Yeah.
They don't know your ways.
Yeah. Oh, the
Destroyed it.
talking. Take videos of the talking.
Okay. It's hilarious. Is it? Because our girls are very chatty. Like they just. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
See you in a while, Carl.
So it's been a busy week. Now, if you watched my last episode, you'll note that Tara was sick last weekend. She came down with the flu, and I was out here trying to film and do the animal feed at the same time, which was a little interesting with one hand holding the camera and the other one doing the feeding. But I made through it. So Monday came, and what happens? Well, I start feeling down, and I spent pretty much the whole week in bed. I don't know if you can notice in my voice, it's a little raspy. So I'm just kind of getting over it now. The flu portion's gone, but of course now it's the throat and the raspy throat and the coughing. So I'm feeling much better now than I did during the week. And but unfortunately, a lot went on during the week where I kind of missed because I was out of it. So I'll recap one of the things that happened. Now in here on our peacock pen or pigeon pen or whatever you want to call it, you'll remember that we have one of the nannies in here, and she is a Muscovy duck, and she hangs out in here, and that's kind of her favorite perch. Now, she doesn't really get along with the other ducks, and she gets along pretty good in here. But the new girl is this one here. Oh, whoa, whoa. Okay, so this one here. Let everybody calm down. The story with this one is Tara was watching on Facebook, and there was some chatter about a duck that had made its way into somebody's yard and tracking it. Now this is a female Muscovy, and they shouldn't be out in the cold weather on snow. So, okay, let me get out of here, let these guys calm down. Right? They shouldn't be, you guys shouldn't be out on snow. That's why they're in here. So what the story is Facebook. Tara was watching people's posts where they were saying, "Oh yeah, found this duck's in our yard. It's gone now." She would go down and look around, and it was gone. And getting all these different updates, and finally, somebody had caught her. Now, female Muscovies can fly somewhat. They're not, it's not migration flying. They can fly short distances. The male ones are bigger and can't fly quite as well. So we finally did get her, brought her in. Her feet were a little sore from the frostbite, but she's now safe and sound inside. So happy ending, and she's now got a buddy here, which is our nanny duck. Okay, Lucy. Lucy's still little old Lucy. And Fernando, the greeter. So not a whole lot has gone on out here. We've still got all of these guys. So these are, they get along great in here. The nanny that was in here, she was kind of picking on them, and they were picking on her, and we just decided to move her off, and we figured we'd move the new one in with the nanny, and she took beautifully. How are the girls doing? How are the girls doing? Do you want a treat? Did you guys get treats? We have a couple ladies that come out regularly on the weekends, and they bring all these little treats for the animals. So carrots and all kinds of vegetables. So they're getting their feed on. Burr, burr. Okay, something else that, just thinking about roosters. So this is a rooster, Now, how do you tell the difference between a rooster and a hen? So some people have had some problems with that. And let's see if I can zoom in here. If you look on the feet, you will see that spur. Oh, Fernando. Get out of the way, buddy. Come here. Back off. No. Yeah, let me do this for a minute. There we go. All right, so you can see the spur on the foot. So this is a rooster. They have those fighting spurs. And generally you can see how they walk. This one's all standing up and all proud, and usually the hens are kind of clucking away and pecking at the ground. But that's a sure way, is the spurs. So let's take a look. Well, most of the girls are sitting, but this one here is standing. Let's zoom in on this hen. And this hen here, you can see there are no spurs on the bottom of the feet. And that's an easy way to tell a rooster from a hen. Well, of course, there's the obviously crowing too. If it crows, well, it's a rooster. You can note here there are no rabbits in this area as there were last week. So what has happened here is we had contacted some people, or they had contacted us last year, and they had recently moved out to the country. They had bought an old homestead that had all kinds of cages and buildings, and they actually donated some of the cages to us. They're down by our barn, our hay barn. And there are also other ones that they couldn't get to, I guess, winter, and they're going to donate those to us. So we'll find some kind of use for those cages. But they wanted some rabbits, and then eventually want some goats and some other animals too. So they took our male rabbits, and we still have the female rabbits, which we've got one inside, and we have a few outside that just kind of run free. And it just prevents any accidents from happening, so we don't get all these surprise young, because rabbits, well, they breed like rabbits, so we just want to try to keep the population down. Now, something I have been thinking about for upcoming, in around mid-March, the girls are expecting, so our female kids. Now, Carl headed off to a new farm to spread some of his work, and we've got Billy here in the yard, and it'll just make us a little bit easier with having our male stud goat gone. We can move around the animals a little bit easier. Normally, Carl stays up front, which is kind of snowed in right now. It's closed down for the season, and it'll give us a little opportunity to move the animals around. The young girls can go back outside. We can move Billy around because he's now a threat. So, but he's small enough that it's not an issue. But what I want to do is, during the breeding season, we are going to we'll clean up this pen here, and of course this pen back here, and this pen here. These guys will then go outside. It'll be warm enough for them to all go out. And you can see there is a mount here. Now, we've got a camera. It's a Wi-Fi controlled kind of baby monitor camera, and it swivels, so we can keep an eye on this area. Now, I'm playing around with some different ideas. Up here, I've got a camera here and a camera here, and there's another two outside. So, what I want to do with those is I'm looking into better quality. Those ones are really poor resolution. Now, I want to do a live stream of the goats for probably about 2 weeks, and maybe a little bit afterwards. Now you see about this donkey, and of course there's a giraffe that's giving birth. People have logged on for months and months. I wouldn't actually start the live stream until they are due. Or close to due, instead of letting it go on for so long. And their gestation period is around 5 months, so we kind of know about when it's going to happen. It's going to be about mid-March. So let me know in the comments if you are interested in seeing a live stream. I just have to figure out the logistics on how that works, because we are in the country. Our internet is good, but it's not great, so I'll have to figure out how we can manage that. and try out some kind of live feed. Hi, Billy. Are you the big boy now? That's not something to eat. Well, I guess there's no little nub on the end, so you can't break that off. Yeah. You're the big man now of the yard. Oh, boy. Well, you're a little big man. Now, one of the other cameras I've got up here. I don't really use these cameras, but I had them at one point. We did have some animals in here that we wanted to keep an eye on. I believe they were the Juliana pigs that we had. So I had installed that camera in there. Now, the girls. So the ones that are due is, of course, Snow, which is here, and Patches, which is in there eating with Barry. Oh, Barry, you're just so funny to look at. And Blackie. And Blackie is back here. Now, the girls are getting large. Now, you'll look, during the summer, this is normal. You know, they're eating good. So they'll eat, and generally it falls into the right flank here. It gets large. They'll eat, and then they'll lie down and chew their cud. They'll burp it back up, and they'll refine it and process it. Now, I find the young sits on this side. So here you can see some kind of bulge. Actually, it works really well with Blackie. Here, Blackie is huge on the left side. So her right side is food, and her left side... Get out of the way, Lambert. Okay, there we go. And her left side is just huge. So I'm thinking that she's pregnant for sure. So she could be the first one. It's hard to say. I think Patches was the first one last year. I'd have to look back in the records. But it all depends on when they were bred and who held off the longest. Hey, bud. What are you doing? Okay, so it is a beautiful day out. It's dropped in temperature quite a bit. It was beautiful last week. Hey, Lambert, look at all that hay you have. Get your food all over you. It was beautiful. It was 0 degrees, freezing point. It was raining. Now it is, I believe, minus 22. It's sunny. And the thing is, when it's cold out, if it's a beautiful sunny day, that's the reason. There's no clouds as an insulation. But if it's a kind of a overcast gray day and snowing, that's generally when it warms up. So don't let the sunshine deceive you. It is pretty cold out. Now, even though it's so cold out, on the building here, because it's in the sun, you've got melting going on. So this is, and we've got a tarp here, plastic that covers that. It's generally a little bit warmer in here. And we've got that heat lamp that's on. So everybody's tucked in here. And of course we've got our band of bros here, there, and back in the corner over there. So here, these guys don't have as large of spurs as some of the other ones that are inside do, but they do have little nubs there. And you can just see how proud they are, standing tall. Oh, Henry here, I don't know. He doesn't usually look too proud. He just looks like he's just hanging out. And the geese. Geese, ducks. And everybody's doing good. Looks like they got some treats out here as well. So the girls that come and visit, they go through and they give everybody some treats. Those are cranberries down there. And everything looks good in here. So we put them inside when it's really cold out, just to make sure that they're comfortable, because if you put them outside or give them access to being outside, they'll just remain outside. And it's not good for them, so we try to look out for them. But this is the area that they hang out when it is warmer out, which they have been hanging out in this area last week. This area here is the pens that are off limits at the moment until summer, the chicken and the peafowl pen. So this is their area here. These are actually composting bins that Tara had donated, and it's a great idea, but they don't really use them too much. So they just like to be outside. So down our driveway, you can see the barn there behind me, the animal barn. So I'm just walking down to the hay barn, and this is our hay barn. So this is where we keep all the hay stored, of course. And these are the cages that I mentioned that the young couple had dropped off. And they're more so pens for showbirds. They're all individually incremented with little feeding areas to hang on the feed and the water dishes. We're not going to use them as that, but some of these ones are larger. So we'll find a use for them. And she has some more for us. So in our hay barn, which I have showed in the past, but this is, of course, where we keep our hay. So it goes back quite far. Since we don't have the horses, well, we've got Manya, the pony, we aren't going through nearly as much as we had in the past, which is great. So it's a saver on hay. Now, something we had noticed off to the side here are our building, our shelter for the horse, had blown up in the fall. So it wasn't quite anchored, and I guess we had a south wind that grabbed a hold of it and blew it up. And it flipped up on its end. So I'll have to go down. We don't really use that much, but we may in the future. We may move it. Who knows what we'll do with it. But it's not doing anything there at the moment. I'll have to repair some of the damage that the larger horses, Storm and Joe, did by chewing the wood that was exposed. So you want to make sure that when you're building any kind of shelter, any exposed wood should be covered somehow and not be so exposed, because they will chew on that. So that is the hay barn. Now that I'm inside, out of the cold weather, one last thing I wanted to talk to you about is a special guest that we had come visit the farm just this past week. And her name is Willow, and she is an 8-year-old. And she's appeared on the news locally in Manitoba here because she came up with an idea to help the homeless. So apparently she was on vacation out in BC. She saw some homeless people and she wanted to help out. So when she came home, they started to come up with different ideas on how to do that, short of opening their doors to homeless people and allow them all to stay at their house, which was her first idea. So she came up with Willow's Wishes. And this is what Willow's Wishes look like. So they are these rocks, these clear stones that you can buy, and she's got the little eyeballs on them, and she's got a backdrop behind it glued on, and then there's a magnet that is attached onto the back. So she's built these, and to date she's raised almost $5,000 to help homeless people. So here is, you can contact, you can check out her Facebook page at Willow's Wishes Winnipeg, and go check her out. And there's a lot of videos from local news stories talking about how she got started and what she's done. So it's great. So what we decided to do, Tara saw this story on the local news. I think it was in the newspaper, on Facebook, and she decided to contact Willow and say, you know, we'd like to help you out with this. We'd like to be a vendor for your product, so come on out and see us, and we're gonna buy a bunch of these from you, and then we'll go and we'll sell them out to people who visit the farm. And we've actually sold quite a few of them so far. So so it's worked out pretty well, and it's a great to see a 8-year-old make an impact like this, and to have some kind of drive. Wonderful to see. So we encourage that, and we just want to help her move forward in helping the homeless. That's it for this week. So I hopefully next week my voice will be completely back. But until then, I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
This is little Carl. He's come to do some business with our girls. They're not incredibly thrilled with him yet, but they will be. Hey, Carl. Hey, buddy. Check out the girls. Hey, girls. Who's this guy? Hey, Fonda. Yeah, I know, Carl, hey? You got work to do. You gotta win them over.
Yeah.